morning, good afternoon, good evening. Brandon here with Geaux Stros. Got a little game 1 versus the White Sox today. Let's take a look at the live stream right quick. See who's in. Daniel Berry Sports, happy Wednesday to you. Thank you. Sergio, 5 minutes. Yep, almost there. Thanks for being here, Sergio. BitDog, welcome in. Got about 7 people here. Game is about to begin. I am refreshing my page here. The MLB page is
Talkman and my drop at the top of the lineup.
acting a little strange. Actually, we've already got the first pitch. What in the world is going on here? Okay, I see what's going on. I see. Hang on just a second. There we go. The MLB site was showing game starting soon, and I had to refresh it. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes already on the leadoff batter. McCullers has the even count. He's facing Mike Toshman. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Toshman. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off. Count remains 2-2. What in the world? So strange right now. The way everything on the screen is just going kind of haywire right now for me. I'm trying to get it all sorted out. Here we go. 2-2 pitch. Hit hard into right field, but right at Cam Smith, who puts it away for out number 1. I have a little bit of a cough, so I'm going to try to keep muting the mic when I need to. 1 away for McCullers. I'm glad you're all here today. Next batter is at the plate. Takes the first one a little too far inside for ball 1. Chase Mydroth is the batter. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Way high and inside. Ball 2. 2 sinkers in a row, way off the target for McCullers. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Right in the top of the zone, 80 miles an hour, strike 1. That slider not moving nearly as much as the others, but it found its mark in the strike zone. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. High and inside again. 3 balls and 1 strike. Yes, Sergio, hello to you too, sir. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Top of the zone again. Full count. Sergio, by the way, I have been meaning to send a song to you. Just been a little busy since I had a day off. I've been doing other things. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. First strikeout for McCullers, 2 away. Mydroth goes down. He went after it. Nice sinker. All right, and I haven't made my coffee yet. I'm a little behind. Who's at the plate now? Melton is in left field. Is that right? Yep. Andrew Benintendi is at the plate. There's the next pitch. High and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Benintendi. We'll get to the Astros lineup later. They're talking about that right now. Here's the next pitch. High and outside. I just realized I haven't got my audio moved over to my headset. There we go. Don't want to get a copyright issue because of the audio. 3 straight balls from McCullers. Here's the 3-0 pitch. He swings at that one. Grounds it towards the Astros dugout. 3-1 is the count. Pretty interesting that he didn't take that one. Thought he would just take it. Here comes the 3-1. Hit right up the middle. Jake Myers is right underneath it. Doesn't even really have to take a few steps there. All right. 1, 2, 3 inning for McCullers. That's a nice start. Now, you guys want to take bets? Once again, it's that time. It's that time of the day again when we take bets to see if the Astros will score any runs in the first inning. What do you think? What do you think? Place your bets. Place your bets. Will the Astros get runs in the first inning today? Or will they go quietly 1, 2, 3? Or will they threaten a little bit and then get shut down? What do you think? What's your money on? What's your money on? I would like for them to score, but I'm going to be on the lower side. I'm going to say that they get a guy on base, but they don't score any runs. That's what I'm going to say. They get a guy on base, but don't score any runs. Sergio says by this time next week, we should be able to overtake the New York Stankies for second place in the American League. Sure would be nice. It sure would be nice. I need to fix my base runner and outs screen. All right, here's the Astros lineup. Pena is starting off. He's back in the field at shortstop, leadoff batter. Isaac Paredes is at third, batting second. Jose Altuve is at second base today, thank goodness, batting third. Then it's going to be Yainer Diaz at the DH spot, batting fourth. Christian Walker at first, batting fifth. Jake Myers batting sixth in center field. Caratini is catching today, batting seventh. And then rounded up by Cam Smith and Melton in right and left field, batting eighth and ninth. The first pitch to Pena is a ball. Second pitch coming to Pena in just a moment. Shane Smith on the mound today for the White Sox. Fastball in the bottom of the zone for strike one. 1-1. One ball, one strike. Come on, Flash. Do something here. Another 97-mile-per-hour fastball in the bottom of the zone. Same result. Strike two. All right. My coffee mate. That first cup is always so fast. Love it. I am loving it. Jeremy Pena, another strikeout. He's been striking out like crazy since he was DH 2 days ago. He was 0 for 4 in that game. And it looks like in this game he's trying to pick up where he left off. But one away, Isaac Paredes comes to the plate. Third baseman rankings is pretty good. Very first one fouls it back. The 97-mile-per-hour fastball. 0-1. Oh and 1 to Paredes. Right on the outside edge. Good pitch. 82-mile-an-hour curveball. 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Hey, ripped down to the left side. Is that going to be fair? Foul? Oh, foul. Man, Paredes thought that was a fair ball. He was really booking it. Take a look how close this was. Wow. Just a few feet foul. Would have been a nice double. Yeah, Paredes came out of the box like fire. He thought that was a double for sure, but he had to go back. It's nice to see him getting some exercise. Maybe he can drop some more of that fat. Let's go, Stros. Come on. 0-2 to Paredes. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside. Good take. Ball 1. Jose Altuve on deck. Isaac Paredes putting the bat on the ball. Come on. Here's the 0-2. 1-2 rather. High, 98 miles an hour. No swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's pretty interesting. I have a stat about Paredes. This is hit high into center field. Should be easily playable unless he drops it. Yeah, he gets it. Out number 2. They just said that Isaac Paredes is now number 1 in the American League for pitches seen. That means that he's getting a lot of pitches at the plate. This is good. This is really good. That means that he's swinging when the ball is in the zone, making a lot of contact, and taking the balls. My hero's at the plate, Jose Altuve. Bounces that first pitch behind the plate for strike 1. That's my man. 0-1 with 2 outs. Here comes the next pitch from Smith. Check swing. They say he didn't go. 1 ball and 1 strike. Next pitch. Tap to the left side. That's going to be a hit. He lets it go because he doesn't have a chance at Altuve. So Altuve makes me right. The Astros get a guy on base. I was right about that. If they strand him there, then my prediction will be true for the first inning. They'll get a guy on. But look at this. The third baseman knew he didn't have a chance to throw that, so he just let it go, hoping it would go foul, but it didn't. Base hit for Altuve. Infield hit. All right. Starting off the game with a base hit. That's nice. They throw over to first. He's back. Yainer Diaz is at the plate. He's in the DH spot today. Here's the first pitch to Diaz. Takes a swing at that fastball and fouls it off into the first base side. 0-1 is the count. All right, next pitch on the way. He hits that one hard out to right field, all the way out to the stands. Is that gone? No, it's caught at the track. So close. I thought that had enough to get to the wall. Just shy. Man, he gave it a ride. Nice opposite field hit. That seems to be Yainer Diaz's favorite place to hit homers. Right center field. Opposite field home runs. And that was close. That was really close. Could have given the Astros a 2-0 lead in the first inning. But my prediction came true, guys. If you go back and listen, you'll hear it. I predicted that the Astros would get a guy on base, but strand him. That's exactly what they did. 1 hit for the Stros, no runs. This game is 0-0 going into the top of the second. Top of the second. The Dirty White Sox will be up in just a moment. Starting off with Miguel Vargas. But right now I'm trying to get the... Let's see, I need to get my score. How big can I make this here? Can I make that fit just right? Let's see. There we go. You see that on the screen there? I'm trying to get this in just the right spot for you guys. If I put this on the screen, then I don't have to worry about trying to do some things. There's some things that I'd rather not have to do. I don't have the base runners, so I kind of want to do that manually. First pitch is on the way to Vargas. That's what I'm trying to do right there. There we go. All right, next pitch. That's a strike. 0-2, just like that. 2 pitches, 2 strikes to Miguel Vargas. Here's the next pitch from McCullers. Quite a bit high on that one. Not going to get the strike 3 call on such a pitch unless it's Angel Martinez. Is that the infamous umpire? Angel Martinez? Or is it Angel Martinez? I don't know how they pronounce his name. Wild pitch to the backstop. Ball 2. 2-2. What just happened there? Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I'll get that fixed. Give me one moment. Here's the pitch. High and outside, ball 3. So from 0-2 to full count. There we go. Got it fixed. Here's the next pitch. Full count. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. All right. McCullers doing McCullers things, getting the strikeout, but taking forever to get there, taking the scenic route on the way. Why, McCullers? Why? All right, Edgar Quiero, the first batter, takes that for a strike. Next pitch, in the dirt, ball 1. Looks like the Astros are doing a 6-pitcher rotation right now. Six-man rotation is pretty nice as long as the pitchers are doing a decent job. Give them a rest, you know. Quiero takes a little bit of a break, steps out of the box. 25 pitches now for McCullers. Here is the 26th. This ball's hit up the middle. Should be playable by Myers or Melton. Melton takes it. Out number 2. Next batter is at the plate, takes that pitch in there for a strike. A nice slider from McCullers. Kyle Teal. Kyle Teal is the batter. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ooh, nice call, ump. I was about to say, that could be a strike. That's in the upper outer corner. He called it. Strike 2. Good for you. 2 outs, 2 strikes. Opportunity for another strikeout here. Let's see if he gets it. Oh, he didn't go after that one. He put a knuckle curve in the dirt, but Teal held up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 30th pitch of the game coming up for McCullers. Here comes that lob right now. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Don't do it again, man. What in the world is with McCullers? He gets 2 strikes, then he has to go full count. Why does he always have to go full count? Here's the pitch. He does. He goes full count again. 3-2. McCullers determined to throw as many pitches as humanly possible in order to get 3 outs. He hasn't allowed a single guy on base. But he's already at 32 pitches with this next delivery. Here he comes. Fouled off, of course. Why do you allow so many pitches? Oh, I only have 11 likes. Got 22 people following along and only 11 likes. That's a terrible ratio, guys. Make sure you like the live stream. Please take a moment to just click the like on the live stream. There's no reason for me to have... Now I've got 24 people following and only 11 likes. There's no reason for that. Okay, well, there's a walk. McCullers decides to extend the inning even more. 0-2 was the count. And he came back and lost him. Runner on first with 2 outs. McCullers walking around, wondering to himself, why do I always take the scenic route? Luis Robert Jr. is at the plate for the Dirty Sox. Here's the pitch. Just a little low and outside for ball 1. Maybe McCullers decided to go straight to the walk this time. Why bother throwing so many strikes? His answer is to just throw 4 straight balls. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Robert Jr. hits out into right field. That's going to be down all the way to the wall. It's going to be trouble. Now they're going to wave him home. Here comes the throw. Are they going to get him home? Altuve to the plate's too late. Yep. White Sox get a run. Cam Smith had trouble playing that off the wall. Couldn't get in. I can't speak. Couldn't get it in fast enough. You can see here when it kicks off the wall, comes off at a strange angle, and Cam has to go after it. By the time he brings it in, the guy is already home, and that's not even a fast runner. Double for Luis Robert Jr. First pitch to Josh Rojas is in there for strike 1. 0-1 is the count. 2 outs, runner on second. 1-0 Sox. Here comes the next pitch from McCullers, right in there for strike 2. McCullers was cruising along, retired 5 batters in a row, had the 6th batter at 0-2, decided to walk him and then gave up the double, so he just decided to shut down suddenly. Strike 3 right in there. Got him looking. So what he should have done 2 batters ago. He comes back, but he gives up a run, so we are down 1-0 to the White Sox. Bad decisions there by McCullers. Not sure what he was thinking. Why wasn't he just locked down? You know, a situation like that, you just have to throw a strike. You have to throw a strike. How many pitches is that for McCullers now? 38, guys. 38 pitches for McCullers. In 2 innings, McCullers has thrown 38 pitches. And only 21 of those have been strikes. He's barely managed to throw half of those for strikes. What in the world is going on with McCutcheon? McCutcheon. Let me try to get caught up on the live chat, guys. I've been neglecting you because of the live play-by-play, but let's take a look. Sergio put, oh, you actually bet that they would score in the first inning? I would have won that bet for sure. My bet was spot on. My bet was that they'd get a runner on and strand him. I was right. I would have won me some money. Chicago have a cheese stick for a pitcher? It's a dirty sock, Mark. It's a little difficult to see, but it's a dirty sock. Howdy, Astros. Howdy, Jordan. Good to see you. Diaz comes so close, but not many cigars. I agree. He hits it out there a lot. I predict a stranded runner almost every inning. The Astros do that a lot. They do that a lot. They often strand runners on first and second, or bases loaded. They are stranding. They are like one big stranding party. They should change them to the Houston Stranders. My shirt should say the Stranders, the Houston Stranders. Christian Walker is at the plate in the bottom of the second. Takes that first pitch for a strike. I need to change that on screen. I think it didn't update on the screen. Yeah, okay, it's updated. There we go. Second pitch is low and away, taken for ball 1 by Walker. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wow. Outside edge, 90-mile-per-hour pitch. Called a strike. He calls timeout there. He's talking with the ump a little bit. He doesn't really agree with the call, but could have gone either way. It was not a bad pitch to be calling a strike. If it's close, you should swing. Don't argue, just swing. Here's the pitch. Outside. Ball 2. Count is even. Sergio says 100 yen is only 69 cents. Yeah, it's not very much. That's why dollars go so far here. If I had some dollar sponsorships, dollar donations, they actually go a lot further for me than you guys realize. Somebody sends me $5 for a coffee. For example, I've received some from Sergio. Thank you so much for that. $5 for a coffee. I know that $5 is basically kind of what you pay for a coffee at Starbucks in the U.S. But $5 here, that's enough for me to go have a really nice lunch if I want. I can go to this this family cafe here. 3 balls and 2 strikes, full count to Walker. Hey, he walks. He lives up to his name. Walker walks. He is the Walker. Full count. He works the full count and gets on base. Good job, Christian Walker. We have ourselves a leadoff runner with no outs. Actually, the breakfast here, the family restaurant breakfast is so cheap that $5 covers more than that. I still have like $1 left over. Jake Myers comes to the plate and he rockets this out into center field. But Robert Jr. is going to have to pedal back and to get it, and he's able to get it. But man, Myers so close. He really dug into that one. Right in the middle of the plate. Good smack by Myers. Just not in the right spot. Louis Jr. having to go back to get that one. Close but no cigar. One away. That brings up the Batman Victor Caratini in the bottom part of the zone on that curveball, strike one. Caratini's catching today. Batting .258 right now. He's slipped a little bit. Hopefully he can come back and have a good day against this righty. Here comes the toss. Grounds it to the right side, but that looks like it's going to be a double play. And it is. There we go. The Houston Stranders strike again. The Houston Stranders. Go Stranders. All right. Top of the third inning coming up, 0-1. The Astros are down, losing to those dirty White Sox, those stinky, dirty White Sox. I will say this. I prefer the White Sox over the Cubs. Cubs fans are insufferable. 22 people following along and 15 likes. That's great, guys. I'm only 5 likes away from 20. Hook me up. Hook me up. I am thinking about, by the way, for those of you who do watch the live stream on the video screen, I'm thinking about making some changes to my layout to try to make it more efficient and to put some information more clearly on the screen. I love to use. I love the ability to use the ESPN banner with that shows like the base runners, the outs, the balls, the strikes, the score, and all of that. I like that. I really do. But the problem with that is that it doesn't always update quickly enough. So that's the only thing that I have to really worry about. I have to accept that if I want to. If I want to use it, then I have to deal with the downside. And the downside is sometimes. What in the world? Oh, I see what I did. Hang on just a second. The downside is that sometimes it's not working right. It's not working quite right, and I have to just accept that because I don't control that. That's the problem with the automated systems, guys, is that when it doesn't work, there's nothing I can do about it. The manual systems work only because of me. All right, very first pitch is hit to Paredes at third base. He makes the throw over to first base, one away. One pitch, one out here in the top of the third. Good play by Paredes. Hey, they're talking about Father's Day weekend. All right. I sure would love to get a call on Father's Day. If I could have one thing come true this year, well, I would first choose for my tumor to be gone. But the second thing would be for my daughter to actually call me on Father's Day. One and 0 pitch to Mike Toshman, right in there in the top of the zone. Strike one, 88 miles an hour. One ball, one strike, one out. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. That one floated up high out of the zone for ball two. Here comes the next pitch. Just a little outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. McCullers threatening once again to walk the batter. Let's see if he can overcome himself. Strike 2 right in there. Nice slider. Full count. Is he going to get the strikeout with the scenic route? Or is he going to take the extended scenic route and walk him? Let's see. Here comes the pitch. Grounded to the right side and through. That's a fair ball all the way down to the wall. It's going to be at least a double. Cam Smith brings it in. Limits the damage to a double. A 1-out double by Mike Toshman. Chase Mydrith comes to the plate. 26 people following along. Please like the live stream, guys. I got just 4 more likes to get to 20. I appreciate that. It's nice being at 26 people this quickly. This early in the game, it shows some interest. Maybe in the White Sox. I don't know. First pitch is outside, taken for ball 1 by Mydrith. The sinker, 90 miles an hour, missing. Here's the next pitch, 1-0. Also a little high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Man, they spend so much time and effort and money on all of these promotions. Here comes the... No, McCullough comes off the bag instead. Comes off the mound. Fakes a throw to second. A little bit of a reset. Now here comes the 2-0 pitch. High and outside again. 3 balls and no strikes. 3 straight balls. If I were the pitching coach, I would come out to talk to McCullers right now. I wouldn't even let this next pitch go. I want to know why he's throwing so many pitches. That's what I want to know. 3-0, here comes the toss. And he walked him. See, I told you. Did I not tell you? 4 pitches, all high, 3 outside. That's a 4-pitch walk, and he's got 2 runners on with 1 out. He's already up to 50 pitches with this next delivery. He has 1 out here in the top of the 3rd, and he's at 50 pitches already. New ball. Meeting on the mound with Caratini. Where's the pitching coach? Where's the pitching coach? That's what I want to know. Jordan, I'm sorry, Sergio, thank you for greeting people in the live chat while I'm busy doing the live play-by-play. I really do appreciate that. You might be getting a moderator position. If you're going to be here and you got nothing to do and you'd like to, just let me know. It'd be really cool to have somebody responding to stuff while I'm busy doing this. Sometimes I'd really want to get to the messages, just not so easy while doing the live play-by-play. Andrew Benintendi is at the plate, runners on first and second with 1 out. First toss to him is on the way. Low and inside, ball 1. Lot of balls coming out of McCullers right now. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Long delay, but he finally throws it. That's in there on the outside edge. The slider sliding right in that outside corner, or right outside edge for a strike. Bates Torres says, thanks again for doing these. We made it across the U.S. listening to the games, and now we're at home in Oregon and listening here. We're glad we discovered you. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you listening in. Way outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count on Benintendi. It's really nice to have you back. And Cesar Rio says, Geaux Stros, great to see you. Thank you, Cesar. Welcome back, a long-time listener. Little check swing. They say he went. Good job, ump. It looked to me like he went. That evens the count, 2-2. Benintendi doesn't look too happy about it, but it is what it is. White Sox fans way better than Cubs fans. I agree, Jordan, 100%. Maybe even 110%, I agree. Here's a pitch. That one's almost in the dirt. For another full count. Is there a record? Does somebody keep these MLB records to see which pitcher has thrown the most full counts in one game? McCullers is probably on that list. And there we go, another walk. Bases are now loaded. We have not even seen a pitching coach visit to the mound yet. McCullers' control is obviously not there. Now he's got bases loaded with 1 out. Altuve seems to be kind of checking on things. He's like, are you all right? Are things okay? That brings up Miguel Vargas, who's batting 188. What do you want to bet that Vargas is the guy that brings around all these runners? He has no grand slams in his career. Takes the first pitch as a ball, of course. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss, 92 miles an hour on the inside edge. 1-1. If McCullers gets the double play ground out here, I'm just, whew, talk about lucky. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Way too far inside. Another ball. 58 pitches thrown for McCullers. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. High in the zone. Strike 2. The count is even, 2-2. Want to take bets? Does he go to another full count? This next pitch will be McCullers' 60th of the game. He's got bases loaded here in the 3rd with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Outside. It is another full count. I could be making a lot of money on micro bets. If I were a betting man, I'd be raking in the cash right now. Bases loaded with a full count. Here it comes. Right in there and hit high in the air. Pena is out. Myers is in. Pena will take it. Pena throws it directly to home plate. No tag. Big out there. Out number 2. Bases remain loaded, 1-0. The Sox are in the lead. They've only got 2 hits. McCullers has been throwing balls like crazy. Edgar Quiero is at the plate, a left-hander. First pitch is low and inside for ball 1, another ball. McCullers has thrown 62 pitches, 29 for strikes. Here's the next one. Fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's not going to make it past the 5th inning at this rate, says Bit Dog. It's not very easy for McCullers to make it past the 5th inning, is it? He always throws a lot of pitches, but today's kind of ridiculous. Grounded to the left side. It's going to get through. That's going to score a couple of runs. Yep, 2 runs score. Opposite field hit. Runners on first and second with that single. 3-0 White Sox. Didn't take much. All they needed was a single to score a couple of runs, and they got it. That's what I wish the Astros would do when they had bases loaded. Just get a little hit, poke it through. 3-0. The inning continues for Lance McCullers. He's now facing Kyle Teal. First pitch is on the way. Grounded directly to Altuve. Good catch by Altuve, who tosses it over to first for the final out. They could have used that one on that previous pitch. But the White Sox tack on just 2 more hits and get 2 more runs, leading the Astros 3-0 in the 3rd inning. Lance McCullers' pitch count is a little crazy right now. He's knocking at the door of 70 pitches, guys. 70 pitches. And only half of his pitches have been strikes. He's thrown just as many balls as strikes. 31 people listening in or following the live stream. Thank you for being here. Got 20 likes. I appreciate that. If you have not liked the live stream, please do that now. I would greatly appreciate that. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. On deck for the Astros is Cam Smith and Jeremy Pena. I'm sorry. Cam Smith and then Jacob Melton, followed by Jeremy Pena. So the bottom of the batting order is coming up for the Astros, and then Pena will have another opportunity to bat at least in this inning. Let's go to the live stream here and see if there's anything new. BitDog says pull him. Well, BitDog, at the very least, I don't understand why the pitching coach didn't go out and talk to him. He should have gone out and talked to him as soon as the second guy got on base. But not only did he not talk to him at that time, after bases were loaded, he didn't talk to him. After the hit, he didn't talk to him. They just let him go. Just let him go, let him go, and let him go, and let him go. And now here we are. He's barely been able to make it through 3 innings. And he's already given up 3 runs. It could have been a lot worse. But he's thrown almost 70 pitches. Almost 70 pitches in just 3. Why is nobody talking about that? Whew. All right. Cam Smith is at the plate. Let's get something going. First pitch is a swing and a miss. 0-1 to Cam Smith. Batting .246 right now. Not stellar. Here comes the 0-1 toss from Smith. Low and outside. 1-1 is the count. 35 people following along. All right, it's kind of going up and up and up. Thanks for being here. Make sure you like the live stream. 1-1 pitch, fouled off at the plate. That's a discrepancy, I think. 20 likes with 35 people watching, following along. Come on now, hook me up. Should be closer to 30 likes. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cam Smith. Leadoff batter for this inning. Opposite field hit for Cam Smith. He pokes it through just past the first baseman. He dove at it but couldn't quite get to it. Good smack by Smith. So we have a leadoff base runner and the Astros' second hit of the game. Yeah, that pitch just barely inside. Not too much movement on it. A nice opposite field smack by Crank It Up Cam. And it brings up Jacob Melton, the strikeout machine. Let's see if he can change that today. Swing and a miss. 89 miles an hour right in the middle of the plate. Through 7 games, batting 150. 3 for 20 so far this year. Here comes the next pitch. Nope. He goes over to first base. Cam is back. Astros have their task really cut out for them with this pitcher. This pitcher is no joke. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. Hey, he got the bat on the ball, but it's 0-2 now. I was making a joke the other day about Christian Walker and Jacob Melton having a strike-off. Basically, it means which guy can strike out more. Melton or Walker. Right now, Melton is handily in the lead. He's been doing nothing but striking out, basically. Here comes the next pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1-2. He's on an undesirable streak. When you're batting 3 for 20, that's definitely not the kind of streak you want to be on. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Smith. He grounds that one foul. I'm always glad to see Melton getting the bat on the ball, even if it's just a foul ball. Even if he flies out, I'm happy to see that compared to what he normally does. Anyone tossing in the bullpen, says Sergio? I haven't seen anybody tossing yet. McCullers bring 1 good game, 1 bad game. Yes, that's right, Fox at Bat, that's right. And guess what? Strikeout for Melton. Swing and a miss. There we go. Take another look at it. 83 in the dirt. Melton goes after and strikes out. Unsurprisingly, guys, once again, my micro betting, if I were a bettor, would be making me some serious dough today. Jeremy Pena is at the plate. Let's see if he can do something. Come on, man. Let's break through. There we go. Right down the line on the left side. That's going to be a double for Pena. Should score a run. The ball gets stuck under the wall. Why didn't Cam Smith go? Why didn't he go? Wow. The third base coach made Cam Smith stop. Why? That ball was ripped right down the line by Pena, all the way out to the wall, and it got stuck under the wall. Paris Chica, the third base coach, actually got Cam Smith to hold up. Are you kidding me? Cam Smith is super fast. What are you doing stopping him? I'm not sure exactly what was going on there. That should have been Astros 3-1, but instead we're still 3-0, but we got runners on second and third. What in the world was Paris Chica thinking? Benintendi couldn't get the ball off the wall. It got stuck under the bottom. Cam would have been safe for sure. 1 out, and that brings up Isaac the Ball Paredes. Come on, man. Make it hurt. Right in there, 98 miles an hour, strike 1. What in the world was Paris Chica thinking? Philip is cooking meatball subs for dinner. Sounds good. Do you think the Astros have a chance, Simone? Yeah, of course they do, but it's going to be a challenge. This pitcher is pretty good. That ball right there was in the dirt. Good stop by the catcher to save a run. But the count is now 1-1. Take a look at this. Good stop. Keep that ball in front of him. Come on, Paredes. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Clint says his pitch count was really high last game. He's made of glass. They need to keep his pitch count low. Yes, you're right. His pitch count is always way too high. Always. Even when he wins, it's way too high. Fouled off by Paredes. 2-2. BitDog says bad coaching today. Yeah, definitely on the third base coach. That's on him. Cam Smith could have had that easily. Sergio says we'll definitely win this game. We can and we will. Casey says looks like Cam hurt his foot or something. He was stumbling. It's because he was told to stop. He had an awkward stop because I think he wasn't expecting to have to stop, and Paris Chica was telling him to hold up. It was a ridiculous call there by the coach. And the dirt, another stop by the catcher. 3 balls and 2 strikes. My man is on deck. He socked the ball, man. Live up to your name. 2 runners on second and third. 40 pitches now for Smith. He's starting to kind of get up there a little bit this inning. Here comes the full count pitch. Paredes hits it hard into center field, but that's going to be caught. Is Cam Smith going to tag up? He is. He gets it no problem. Pena is not able to advance to third, but Isaac Perez gets at least an RBI sacrifice fly to make up for the Paris Chica debacle. At least the Astros get back that run. 3-1. Thank you, Paredes, for scoring Cam Smith. Past couple of games, the main thing that the Astros have had a problem with is their coaches. That's been the weak link. Joe Espada making some bad decisions. Paris Chica making a bad decision. Come on, Altuve. That one a little high. Surprised the umpire didn't call that a strike, but Altuve, that's like right at his face. You can't call that one a strike. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs. The flash on second. Come on, Altuve. Let's tie up this game. At Daikin Park, let's make the crowd go crazy. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, low and outside, ball 2. I think Shane Smith, this is one guy out of the entire lineup that he's scared of pitching to. Is Jose Altuve. He doesn't want to put it anywhere near the zone. He knows him. This is a legend at the plate. This isn't just a great player. Pena is a great player, but this is a legend. There's a difference. Here's the pitch from Smith. High fastball fouled back. 97 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike to Altuve. BitDog says home run, please. That's what I want to see, an Altuve home run. Cam in time will learn to trust in his abilities. Well, he's done it before where he's just ran through. He should have done it there. Here's a 2-1. Good take by Altuve on the outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Make him pitch to you, man. Take your pitch. Wait for your pitch. Pena on second, waiting to be driven in by Altuve. Here is the 3-1 pitch. Little outside, ball 4. It was a good take. So Smith doesn't really give Altuve much to work with. There was only 1 pitch in the zone, and Altuve fouled it off. Perfect at bat by Altuve. Diaz comes to the plate. They're going to have a little mound visit and have a little discussion. So the pitching coach, Katz, is going to come out also and have a little chit-chat. It's pretty interesting because they didn't have a meeting about Altuve because I think they know what to do with Altuve. Don't pitch in the zone. Don't put it anywhere that he can really get the bat on the ball, and that's a difficult task to do with Altuve without walking him. And that's exactly what they wound up doing, was walking him. So we have runners on first and second, both fast guys. 2 outs, but Diaz had a deep drive out to right center field. If he gets a ball in the zone, he's going to be going after it. This could be a one swing, give the Astros the lead kind of hit for Diaz. They're still having a meeting on the mound. 37 people in the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you like the live stream, please. I'm at 27, just 3 away from 30. Hook me up. Diaz stepping into the box finally after that long meeting on the mound. Catcher calls timeout again. He had some kind of issue with the pitch comm, but it looks like they're ready. And Shane Smith shaking off several pitches. Finally gets what he wants. Here comes the first toss to Diaz. Long delay. He has the first one way up in the air, but this time it's going to be easily playable. Out number 3. Fly out to the right field. All of that hype. But at least the Astros come away with the 1 run after the Paris Chica third base coach debacle. An unfortunate result that they didn't get more than 1 run. But it is what it is. 3 hits for the Astros, 3 hits for the Sox, 3-1. The Astros are down by 2. We go into the top of the 4th. McCullers will be back on the mound, knocking at the door of 70 pitches already. 70 pitches. Unbelievable. I just realized I had not yet liked my own live stream. What am I doing? Still at just 28 likes. How is that possible? We got up to about 40 viewers, still sitting at 28 likes. I need 2 more to get to 30. Hook me up, people. Sergio says Cam will learn to yeah, got that earlier. That's right. Superman Altuve for sure. Brendan DeZoza. We suck tonight. Well, we don't suck so far. It has been mediocre so far. Casey says Altuve, one of only 2 players to ever get 2 infield hits in a World Series games. Beat the throw. Yeah. Speedy Gonzalez. Yeah. Arriba, arriba, arriba. Andale, andale, andale. I remember that cartoon. Kind of reminds me of Superman's Up, Up, and Away. I need to make myself a second cup of coffee. Louis Robert Jr. comes to the plate. First pitch to him is low and outside for a ball. McCullers continues to add to his ball count. I'm thinking about getting a really cool background built for myself. Wow, this one's hit really hard out into left field. Might be gone. And it is. That's a home run. Right into the Crawford boxes. Luis Robert Jr. cranks it into the stands. Batting 7th in the lineup, guys. Normally he bats higher in the lineup. His batting average is 181. But he is hitting McCullers like nobody's business. Wow. Four to 1, White Sox. Just like that. Next hit is hit also in the left field, but good catch by Melton. A sliding catch to save another hit. Great play by Melton there. Let's take another look at that. Yeah, good catch. Saves a base hit. possibly even an extra base hit. 1 away. 4-1. The White Sox with 1 out. And Tim Elko at the plate. That's a strike. 0-1 is the count. 69 pitches now. This is the 70th for McCullers. Right in there, 91 miles an hour, strike 1. And guys, if McCullers gets through the next 2 batters, I would just take him out. I wouldn't let him come out in the 5th. That's just my personal opinion. What do you think? I'm interested to see what you guys think. He's given up. He's got 4 runs on the board right now. 0-2 pitch on the way. Right in there. Strike 3. He got him. He knew it was a strike. Low and away. He finally picks up a decent result. Wow. Astros outs above average right now are 18. League leaders. Next batter is Mike Tauchman. That first pitch is wild for ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Tauchman. Tauchman does have 1 hit today against McCullers. That one's low in the zone. Strike 1, 85 miles an hour on the changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on. Tauchman does have a double today. And he taps this one over to Altuve, who scoops it up and fires over to Walker for out number 3. And that's it, but not before McCullers gives up 1 more run via the Louis Robert Jr. solo home run shot. 4-1, the Astros are behind by 3. McCullers getting closer to 80 pitches. I would like to see them go ahead and pull him out, but nobody was warming up in the bullpen. Nobody. So it looks like they plan on having him try to complete at least 1 more inning. I think that they should just pull him out, but, you know, that's my personal opinion. What do you guys think? Let's see here. Sergio says it's time for Espada to get his what to the mound? Caesar says take him out. Yeah, I agree. 30 likes. Woohoo! Thanks, guys. We got to 30. And now the viewers have gone down to 27. We're up to almost 40. Can you believe that? We're up to almost 40 viewers on the live stream. And then the likes, for some reason, weren't shooting up as quickly. But we finally got to 30. I'm very happy about that. To be at 30 already, and it's only in the 4th inning. That's pretty good. The White Sox more popular than the Guardians were for viewers, it looks like. Not really sure why. I should have heated up this water again. It's not going to be that hot. Actually, I am going to go put this water back on to heat. I'll be right back, guys. All right, I am back. Did I miss the first pitch? I missed the first 2 pitches. Christian Walker is at the plate. 1-1 is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. And here is the toss. Long delay by Smith. High and outside, ball 2. Walker did get a full count earlier, his last at bat. He worked the count and managed a walk. Next pitch is right in there, barely fouls it down the third baseline. Pretty slow roller, might have been an infield hit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 51 pitches now for Shane Smith. Four to 1, the Astros are down here in the bottom of the fourth. Here's the next pitch. Hey, this hit into center field pretty hard, but it's going to die just enough for Lewis Jr. to put it away. Couple of catches like that he's had to make out there in center field, kind of a running over the head catch. Drove it pretty hard, but once again, just like Myers and Diaz, they drove it out there pretty deep, but it was playable. Speaking of Myers, he comes to the plate again. He smacked one way out there earlier. It was a hard hit ball. See if he can put one over the fence here. Did that hit him? It was a little inside. Almost got him on the arm. Ball 1. Mr. Baseball. I just heard my hot water bottle click. It's already ready. But I can't get up right now. I got to watch Mr. Baseball. That's a little outside. Ball 2. Couple of good takes by Myers. 97-mile-an-hour fastball outside of the zone. 2 balls and no strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the fourth. Come on, let's see what the Stros can do. Hey, another base hit for Myers. Opposite field, just through between the first and second baseman. Big gap there. So we have ourselves a 1-out base runner. Myers 1 for 2 today with a drive deep. You know, it's interesting because they're showing how the Astros are second in the American League with extra bases, getting runs off extra bases. In other words, running and getting those extra bases. Earlier when Paris Chica told Cam Smith to stop, to hold up, he actually hurt that stat. 1 ball and no strikes to Victor Caratini. Here comes the next pitch. Outside. Ball 2. Caratini did ground into a double play earlier, and that was unfortunate. See if he can get a different result at this at-bat. Here comes the pitch from Smith. Another one outside. Good at bat so far. 3 straight balls. Maybe Smith is starting to break down. He has thrown quite a few pitches. He's up to almost 60. This next one will be his 59th. Here it comes. Right in there and ripped into the right field. That's going to be a single. A nice hard rip by Caratini, the Batman. We have 2 runners on with 1 out. That was a really good at bat. He had 3 balls, no strikes. He got a pitch right down the middle, and he decided to go ahead and go after it. 1 bouncer. Nice hard line drive out into right field. Perfectly placed. That brings up Cam Smith, guys. Cam Smith with an opportunity here to bring the Astros closer. He's the tying run. 1 single for him so far this game, an opposite field single. Here comes the pitch from Shane Smith. Smith on Smith. Swing and a miss. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Houston, we have a problem. Cheers. We lost if pitching is this bad all night. Well, hopefully the relievers will kick in. Here's the next pitch to Smith. Swing and a miss again. The high fastball, 95 miles an hour. It's just a little above the zone. Could have been a ball. Should have been a ball. Smith takes a timeout to get adjusted in the box, and now he's good to go. Here comes the Smith on Smith pitch. Cam goes up the middle. It's going to be caught for a double play. Yes, it is. Cam Smith just hits it into the wrong spot. 2 double plays for the White Sox to shut down the Astros' bids for extra runs. No runs for the Stros at all. They get a couple of guys on and strand them. The Houston Stranders strike again. The Houston Stranders. Top of the 5th coming up. Difficult game to watch so far. I think my kidney is hurting, actually. A little bit of an ache going on there. I have to wonder if it's the game. Could be. Could be. 4-1, the Astros are down. 5 hits for the Astros. 4 for the Red Sox. For the White Sox, they're actually winning the hit category, but that's not the most important one. The most important one is runs on the board, and they're losing that one big time, 4-1. I'm going to go get my hot water. I'll be right back. Go Stros! Or go Stranders. All right, I am back, and in plenty of time for the top of the 5th. Whew. Game 1. At home in Daikin Park, it looks like some crowd have already left the stadium, left the park. That's unfortunate. First pitch to Maidroth is high for ball 1. McCullers still on the mound, of course, for the Astros. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, rather. High and outside, ball 2. 2 more balls for McCullers. Yeah, second cup of coffee almost ready. Just a little bit more. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Wow, generous there. Up and in, but called strike 1. That was definitely out of the zone. Very generous there. Thanks, ump. Here's the 2-1. Little too far inside on that one. 3 balls and 1 strike. Umpire gets back to normal. 3-1. McCullers threatening to walk another batter. Here's the toss. That's in there, top of the zone. Strike 2. 82-mile-an-hour slider. Full count. Probably the 10th one of the game for McCullers. Here comes the pitch. Wow, almost hit him. Walked him. That's 4 walks this game for Mac Colors, as my dad would say. Mac Colors. Just like McDonald's. Next batter at the plate is Andrew Benintendi. Takes that first one on the outside edge for strike 1. Whoops. I'm so used to clicking balls that I clicked the wrong button. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Way high and outside. That missed the mark by quite a substantial sum. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the next pitch to Benintendi. Another one outside by almost a foot. 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. Another one way outside by almost a foot. 3 balls and 1 strike. McCullers continues to struggle with his control. Are we going to see a visit from the pitching coach after he walks this guy? I'm interested to see. He throws over to first base, but Hydroth is nowhere near attempting to steal. Just gives him a little break. McCullers comes set. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That's in there. Fouled back. Strike 2. Another full count. Looks like Bennett Sousa is now warming up in the bullpen. The Astros finally have some action going on in there. Full count pitch from McCullers. Now on the way. Runner is going, but this is hit high in the air. He's going to have to go back. Walker is in foul territory. Puts it away. 1 away. All right, so we don't have another walk there. Don't need a mound visit yet from the pitcher. From the pitching coach, rather. Sounds like I got a message on WeChat. All right, yeah. It's just about my English students. Here comes the pitch. First pitch to Miguel Vargas. Check swing on the inside. They say that he went. Oh and 1. First base umpire was all over that. Here comes the next pitch. Nope. McCullers goes to first. Almost got in Maedroff. He was kind of sneaking off the bag there. A little sneaky sneak, but McCullers said, no, sir. Get back on that bag. Look how close this was. Wow. If Walker had let that ball travel a little more, it would have been closer on that tag. Here comes the 0-1 pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jake Myers is the greatest Astro of this time. Philip, are you serious? I sure hope not. I pray somebody's in the bullpen. Yeah, Bid Dog, somebody is. Next pitch is outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Miguel Vargas. Vargas is 0 for 2 today. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hey, finally. A swing and a miss strike. Haven't seen one of those in a while. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first. Excuse me. Here comes a pitch. In the dirt. Ball 3. Another full count. Unsurprising. How many full counts are we going to have in this game? I wish I were keeping a tracker. I'm going to have to start doing that with McCullers, I guess. Here comes the full count pitch to Vargas. Right in there. Strike 3. Nice pitch. 90 miles an hour on that outside edge. Can't blame Vargas for not swinging, but that was a nice looking pitch. You can go sit down. Another strikeout for McCullers. Doesn't have many, but glad he got that one. Get through this 5th inning, man. 5 innings, giving up 4 runs. It's not good, but sure would be nice to see you get out of this inning without giving up anything else. Edgar Quiero comes to the plate. The first pitch to him is a little low for ball 1. 1 for 2 today against McCullers with a single. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's in there. 87-mile-per-hour sinker. Or changeup. Yeah, that was a changeup. 1-1. Here comes the next pitch. Runner is going. Caratini can't make a throw. Oh, okay. They're going to say that was a foul ball. Yeah, he's going back to first base. That was a swing and a foul tip. Caratini almost caught that. Look at this. Yeah, he had that in the glove, and whenever he went to transfer it out of the glove, he dropped it. Yeah, it was not coming out of his glove cleanly. And that was because it was a foul tip ball. So strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runner on first. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. What do you know? Hey, McCullers comes back with 2 strikeouts to get out of the inning. What do you know? What do you know? McCullers, guys, do you know how many pitches McCullers has right now? Can you guess? Can you guess? Before I tell you, how many pitches does McCullers have in this game? Now, he just finished the 5th inning, all right? He finished the 5th inning. His pitch count is high. How many pitches do you think he has in this game so far? Let's see who can get closest. Don't go looking it up. That would be unfair. Just think about it. And then give me an answer. What do you think? It's guaranteed that Bennett Sousa is going to be in the game in the 6th inning. There's no way that McCullers is going to be out. Juan, you looked it up. You had to have looked it up. It's 96. He's got 96. 96 pitches in this game. I know that you looked that up. There's no way that you got that right. You cheater. But can you believe that? In just 5 innings, he's already at almost 100 pitches. That's insane. Isn't that crazy, though? 96 pitches in just 5 innings? That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. All right, guys. Jacob Melton is at the plate, swings at the first pitch, fouls it off for strike 1. Pena is on deck. 1 strikeout for Melton today. Let's see if he can avoid another strikeout. Here's the next pitch. Fouls that one off. 95 in the top of the zone. He's getting the bat on the ball a little bit, but he's down in the count 0-2. Take your bets. Place your bets. Is Melton going to strike out again? Or will he do something a little different? Here comes the next pitch from Shane Smith. Low and inside. Ball 1. 1-2 is the count. Here's the next pitch. In the dirt. Ball 2. Even count. I was close today. 96 was 50 pitches too many. Yeah, you're right. It was. 2-2. Here comes the pitch. Hey, ground ball opposite side. Oh, it's going to be played. Is it going to get there in time? He's safe. Yes. All right. Jacob Melton with an opposite field infield hit. Yeah. Yay. Good for you, Melton. He didn't melt on that last pitch. I thought it was going to get poked through. There's a big gap there, but the third baseman was able to stop it on the dive. Just couldn't get a good throw to first base. It died before he got there. Melton is fast, so I knew that he was going to be able to beat that out. Infield hit. All right. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate. Had a really nice double off the wall. His last at bat takes that first pitch for strike 1. Batting .317 right now for the year. There comes the next pitch. way inside and low, but fouled down the third baseline. 0-2 is the count now. Melton trots back to first base. '70th pitch. Shane Smith sitting on 69 pitches right now. Timeout called by Pena. Come on, Flash. We need some more of that double action or that line drive home run action you're capable of. Bring us back in this game. Here's the next pitch. No. Smith goes over to first base. Melton is back. Crowd gives the obligatory boos. Boo, boo, how dare you, boo. Oh, and 2 count to Pena. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Kind of a half-hearted swing there on the 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Shameful strikeout by Pena there. If you're going to swing, swing, but don't give that half-hearted swing. You know, that's a give-up swing. 1 away. East socked the ball. Paredes had the sacrifice fly, the only RBI of the game for the Astros so far. First pitch to him is on the way. Oh, that was a curveball on the inside, called a strike, but that was questionable at best. At least an inch completely outside of the zone. And since it was curving back in, that was definitely a ball, but whatever. In the dirt. Are you sure that wasn't a strike, ump? 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 runner on first. 1-1-1-1-1. I wouldn't mind seeing them knock Shane Smith out of the game this inning. That would be hilarious. He has a really good game through basically 4 1/3 innings, and then he just gets destroyed in the last part of the 5th, and they have to take him out. I've seen that happen before with the Astros. They've done that before. Just start unloading on a pitcher in like the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Little high, ball 2. The 4-seam fastball missing. Sergio says, although Melton was the beneficiary of a terrible 2-bounce throw from the third baseman, yeah, but he didn't really have a chance. He didn't have time to set up and make a good solid throw. Here's a pitch. This is hit really, really hard out to left field. It might be gone. It's all the way to the wall. Ah, it's caught at the wall. The cameraman played a trick on us. It was caught at the track. The cameraman was looking up at the Crawford boxes like it was going to be gone. Just too high. Paredes got way underneath that one. It was almost a 2-run shot. But it was caught at the warning track for out number 2. Jose Altuve has an infield single. He is at the plate now. Let's see if he can put it in the Crawford boxes and bring this game within a run. Here comes the first. Nope. Shane Smith goes over to first base to try to pick off Melton. Melton is back. Man, that cameraman tricked me. He went all the way out to the Crawford boxes, and suddenly the ball just dropped inside the park. That was extremely disappointing. Here's the pitch to Altuve. Low and outside, but called a strike. That was generous. No balls and 1 strike to Altuve with 2 outs. Runner on first. Melton is on first. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Low and outside again. This time misses for ball 1. 96 mile an hour fastball. Come on, Altuve. He had the infield hit, but now we need a bigger hit. Bring the pain. Melton is going. The pitch is in the dirt. Catcher can't handle it. Melton has a stolen base. 2 balls, 1 strike to Altuve. Easily had that one stolen. I think even with a throw, he probably would have had that one stolen. Look how fast he was flying here. All right, runner in scoring position. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Altuve. Altuve hits on way up into right field. The right fielder is over and catches it just inside the fair foul line. Unfortunately, that's it for the Astros this inning. They strand another runner on second. 4-1, the score remains. We go into the top of the sixth. Astros down by 3. 6 hits for the Astros, 4 hits for the Sox, but the Astros are down 4-1. Sergio, it seems like the seventh inning is always what the Astros fans have to look forward to and hope for, right? It just seems that way. It's so ridiculous. Oh, I just realized I didn't bring my trash can in here. I need to go grab my trash can. Whenever I finish my coffee, I take my coffee filter out and I throw it in my trash bag. But I actually bought myself an extra trash can yesterday to go in here next to my desk. It's covered. It helps whenever in this house, this is a house in the countryside, so it's very important that all of the different trash, in Japan you have to recycle your trash. You have your certain type of plastics, you have your plastic bottles. You also have to separate your the wrappers off the plastic bottles and the plastic caps off the plastic bottles, and burnable trash, and then you also have like your compost trash. And you have in glass bottles and metal and aluminum cans. Everything is separate. It's so ridiculous. But basically, being in the countryside here, all of those things, you're supposed to clean them thoroughly when you throw them away. But obviously, things like the burnable trash, you don't clean. You just throw it away. And the smell can attract the bugs and stuff. So all of your cans really have to be covered. And I had to grab another covered can yesterday. But anyway, let me go grab it. I'll be right back. You see my trash can has the red lid on it. I have 3 cans like this. One is blue lid, one is red lid. Bennett Sousa is indeed on the mound for the Astros. The first pitch comes into Kyle Till and is fouled back. Oh, that's the second pitch. Apparently the first pitch I missed. First pitch was a strike, so it's 0-2 against Till. So as I'm getting the trash can, Sousa is trying to take out the trash. Next pitch from Sousa on the way. In the dirt, swing and a miss. Tough grab by Caratini, but he's able to grab it, thankfully, and tag Teal. That's out number 1. First batter is a strikeout for Sousa. Nice. 1 away. Here in the top of the 6th. Louis Robert Jr. is at the plate. First pitch is high and outside. A double and a home run for Louis Robert Jr. today. He's got 2 RBIs. Solo home run and an RBI double. Here's the pitch. He's got himself a ground out, it looks like. Oh, what a pick by Walker at first base. Broken bat, ground out to third. Paredes makes a great pickup. A low throw, but a nice scoop at first base by Christian Walker. So a good catch by Paredes, bad throw, and then a good catch by Christian Walker. 2 away. That brings up Josh Rojas. First pitch on the way. Low and outside. Ball 1. Here comes a 1-0 pitch right in there, 86 miles an hour on that slider. Couldn't have been more accurate than that. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Hit high in the air. Is that going to be playable? Over on the left side, Paredes can't play it. It's literally just 3 rows over the netting. But strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think I can throw this away also. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs, nobody on. Here comes the pitch from Sousa to Rojas. Rojas swings and misses in the dirt. Strikeout number 2. Sousa has a great inning, 1, 2, 3. A strikeout, a ground out, and a strikeout. Good performance. Nice, solid inning by Sousa. We go into the bottom of the 6th. It's it feels so nice, doesn't it? To have a 1, 2, 3 inning on defense. Oh my gosh, a really quick 1, 2, 3 inning. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. 9 pitch inning for Sousa with 7 strikes. Me likey. I like that very much. I don't know what the Astros will do, but with Sousa pitching like that in just 9 pitches, he could come out and pitch the 7th. He very easily could. And he just might do that. Let's take a look at the live stream. Mark says back. Welcome back, Mark. Charles says, who's on first? Come on, Astros, quit leaving men on base. To the coaches, pull your head out already. Go Astros. I agree. Luckily, Paredes had the sacrifice fly earlier to make up for the 1 run that we didn't get. Thanks to the coach. But other than that, the Astros have just been stranding runners as usual. Goodness gracious. But I've got 33 likes on the live stream, so I guess that's a bright side. It feels disappointing, though, whenever the Astros just aren't hitting the ball. Or rather, they aren't hitting the ball when runners are in scoring position. Get a couple of guys on base and strand them. It's difficult. Sergio says it's too early in the season for the Astros to resurrect the trash can. Well, Altuve didn't need the trash can. That's one thing. Yainer Diaz is at the plate. Takes that first pitch low and outside. Shane Smith is still on the mound for the Sox. 1 ball, no strikes to Diaz. The 80th pitch of the game on the way for Smith. Fouls off that fastball, 93 miles an hour. Opposite field. Into the first base crowd side. 1 ball, 1 strike. There are some pitchers pitching in the bullpen for the White Sox. Check swing in the dirt, but he went. Diaz shaking his head. I guess he didn't think that he went. Either that or he's disappointed with himself. Either way, it was a strike. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one goes wide outside in the dirt. Bounces to the backstop for 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hunter's 2 for 2 today, but he has been putting the bat on the ball. Let's see what he can do here with the 2-2 count. They'll check swing again, but they're going to call him out. That was in the dirt. That's 2 pitches that Diaz got a strike on. Couldn't hold up the bat. Pitches in the dirt. Could have had a walk, but instead it's a strikeout. He goes down. First out of the inning. That brings up Christian Walker. First pitch to him on the way. He hits this one foul, back and away for strike one. That was up and inside. Oh for 1 today with a walk. Walker with a walk. Here comes the next pitch. Grounds that one off. Grounds that one foul, almost off his foot. On the third base side, the pitch count here for Smith is 85. Walker hits it over to the right side. It's going to get through. Look at that. Opposite field hit on the 0-2 count. Walker avoids the strikeout and turns it into an opposite field hit. Second baseman goes diving for it, but is not quite able to get there. Just barely squeaked it through. Maybe just a couple inches out of the reach of Rojas. 101 mile per hour. But I think it was slowed down a lot by the grass. All right. Mr. Baseball Jake Myers comes to the plate. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. Ball one. This could be the Astros inning. Why wait for the 7th when you can do damage in the 6th? 88 pitches now with this delivery for Shane Smith. Here's the toss to Mr. Baseball. It's right in there. 90 miles an hour. Strike one on the changeup. McCullers got to see trainers, see if he's injured. Mark, I would say definitely keep an eye on him. Letting him get up to 100 pitches so much is just crazy. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Myers. He grounds it to third, might be 2. Are you kidding me? Again? That's another double play. The Astros have had 3 inning-ending double plays this game. That's the third one right there. Are you kidding me? Talk about just raining on your parade. You know, in Louisiana, they have the Mardi Gras parades, right? And I just had this analogy pop into my mind of how the Astros rain on their parade. You know, you think about the parade starts to go outside and then it starts to rain and it just kind of spoils everybody's fun, right? That's the idea behind the expression, you know, don't rain on my parade. And I said the Astros rain on their own parade, but this idea came to my mind of the Astros are actually indoors trying to prepare their float, and they've got these really nice floats, right? They're preparing this really big, nice parade. And suddenly the sprinkler systems come on because of something that they did wrong. They accidentally set off the sprinkler system and completely ruin their parade before it can even get started. That's my impression of the Astros hitting right now. They don't even get a chance to get the parade started, right? They don't even get to go outside and get rained out. They rain themselves out before it ever even starts. They set off the sprinklers indoors after they get all of their parade floats set up and decorated and ready to go, just like getting guys on base, right? And then they trip the sprinklers and destroy their floats. That's what the Astros do to themselves. So when I say the Astros rain on their own parade, that's exactly what I mean. They don't even have an opportunity to get their floats out of the building. They just turn on the sprinklers and destroy their floats. That's my analogy. You're welcome. That's how my mind works. Sousa is back on the mound. He is facing Tim Elko. Here's the first pitch. Opposite field foul ball on that 95 mile per hour fastball. Top of the 7th. No balls, 1 strike to Elko. Here's the pitch from Sosa. High and outside. Evens the count, 1-1. Mark says last year held the record for 2 plays. Okay, well, that's just a little outside. That pitch just barely missed the outside edge for ball 2. Close. 2-1. The park leaks bad in hard rain. Does it? That's unfortunate. Another strike. That one was right in there. Taken for the second strike. The count is 2-2. Sousa steps off the mound for a moment. I think that Elko wanted a break. He's back in the box now, ready to go. Sousa looks for the call. He's got what he wants. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. In the dirt. Whoa. Caratini giving a little when he tried to catch that one. Good stop. But nobody on, so it doesn't matter too much. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sergio says so far today the Astros play is resembling a pride parade. Yes, it is. It makes sense, right? That they've got the Pride Day coming up. They're playing like it right now. In the dirt again, and that's a walk, a full count walk. That's reminiscent of McCullers. What is that, 5 or 6 walks for the Astros today? 5 or 6 walks. That brings up Mike Toshman. 1 for 3 today with a double. Runner on first with no outs. Here's the pitch. Right on the outside edge. Good toss. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Strike 1. Hey, 36 likes. Getting close to 40. That's awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Ooh, strike 2. 95 miles an hour, but right in the top of the zone. 0-2. Sousa coming right back. Must not be very happy with that last at bat, but with Elko. Toshman calls timeout, steps out of the box for a moment. He's dug himself quite the hole with 0-2. Oh, yeah, double plays, Mark. I see what you're talking about. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off. 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Just barely getting a piece of it. Stays alive. 0-2. The count remains. Mark, are you talking about the White Sox having the record for double plays last year? That's news to me. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Does he go? Yes, he does. That's strike 3 in the dirt. Nice dirty pitch. It was in the dirt, but the bottom fell out of it. Take a look at this. That slider, he's like, oh, darn it. Gosh, God darn it. Man, whew. What a nice pitch. Next batter is Chase Meidrith. Runner on first with 1 out. First pitch is a little high, maybe about 6 or 7 inches. 1-0 on that 94-mile-per-hour slider. Astros hit into them. Oh, you're talking about the Astros hitting into double plays. Yeah. Astros hit into more double plays than Fromber gets them. Strike 1 on the inside edge. The fastball finding its mark. Evening up the count. 1-1 with 1 out, 1 runner on first. Lots of ones right now. We got the 1-1-1-1-1. Here comes the next pitch to Meidrith. Oh, the runner is picked off, but a bad throw from Walker to second base. They picked him off. Sousa picked him off. Elko's first major league steal, and he gets it because of just a bad play by the Astros. Altuve was covering. I don't understand why Sousa didn't go to second. Why did he throw it to first? He could have just come off the rubber. That's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Meidrith with a runner on second base. So they had him picked off, but just a lazy throw to first and a bad throw by Walker, and Elko was able to get to second. Here's a 1-2 pitch outside and in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-2. In the American League, the White Sox have the worst road record in all AL. And, of course, they're winning this game 4-1 in Daikin Park in Houston. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Tabber should not be a problem for Pena. He gets it to first base, but Elko moves to third. 2 outs. Goodness gracious. Is this the 6th inning? Yes. Oh, no. I'm sorry. No. This is the top of the 7th. Top of the 7th. Oh, it's not updated on the screen. I don't know why. Let me refresh that. There it is. Sorry about that. Top of the 7th. Sometimes my scoreboard does not update like it's supposed to. First pitch to Andrew Benintendi is a strike. Here's the next one. Fouled off. Strike 2. Sosa gets ahead in the count quickly. The software that I use is supposed to automatically update anytime there's a change to the source that's coming in. But sometimes it doesn't refresh that. I don't know why. It just gets locked up, so I have to manually refresh it. Swing and a miss. That's going to be strike 3 in the dirt. Easy toss over to first base for a Caratini. Sousa gets through the inning. So despite the 1 walk, the ridiculous stolen base, and the runner getting advanced to third on a ground out, he gets through the inning no problem. So 3 up and 3 down for Sousa in the 6th inning. 4 up and 3 down in the 7th inning. No hits, no runs allowed for Sousa through 2 innings. Solid performance so far by the Astros relievers. The only question is, will the Astros start hitting the ball? It is the bottom of the 7th, Sergio. What say you, Mr. Sergio? How many runs this inning, guys? Little League scoreboard. Yes, you're right. But the thing is, the ridiculous thing is that I actually paid for a year's subscription for this scoreboard. And unfortunately, it's not an automatic scoreboard. I have to update it manually. So the score, the inning, the top, the top of the bottom of the inning, the outs, the strikes, the balls, I have to manually input all of that. I don't want that. I want something that's live. I want a live scoreboard that automatically updates. What I need, guys, is outs, pitch count, inning, top of the first, top of the bottom of the first, etc. Who's pitching? I need all of that info, that live info, to be updating automatically on my screen, so that I don't have to be thinking about any of those things or clicking on any of those things. I want my focus to be on doing the live play-by-play and interacting with you guys in the live chat. But unfortunately, I get distracted because, of course, I'm giving you some little clips. That's another thing that I have to do manually. If you notice, like when I show you these little previews like that right there, I can't leave those on the screen for very long. I have to just show you clips of the game, clips of the highlights and the previews of the game. Otherwise, I can get copyright strikes. But Grant Taylor is on the mound now for the White Sox. The first pitch is on the way to, it looks like Caratini. Yes, Caratini's at the plate. Takes the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Grant Taylor. Grant Taylor from LSU. That's my university. Fouled off by Caratini for strike 1. The count is 1-1. So this guy had a 1.01 ERA in Double-A, and they just skipped Triple-A and brought him straight up to the majors. 101 miles an hour on that cutter, fouled off by Caratini. Holy cow. This guy's got an arm. 101. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. 100 miles an hour on the outside. Fouled away by the Batman again. This is a battle. The Batman versus this big LSU arm. 4 pitches now for Taylor. Here comes the pitch. The 1-2 pitch. In the dirt. Wow. 88 miles an hour slider. That was wicked, but wasn't anywhere near the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. This one was high, but hit hard. Out to center field, should be playable, and it is. Out number 1. 100 miles an hour. Caratini hit that one. That was like 4 inches out of the zone. Caratini was hitting those fastballs, man. You got to give it to him. Caratini didn't miss a single one of those pitches. This guy is pitching 100 to 101 miles an hour. Caratini was putting the bat on all of those. But out number 1, Cam Smith comes to the plate. He's got a single today, and he scored the only run on the Paredes sacrifice fly. 89 cutter right in the middle of the zone. That was probably the best hittable pitch that Cam is going to see on this at bat. Here comes the pitch. Hey, 100 miles an hour hit to the shortstop. Bad throw, so he has to tag him at first base. I need a cough. Clear my throat a little bit. Cam Smith also hit the 100-mile-per-hour pitch, but grounds it to the shortstop, unfortunately. So 2 up and 2 down. This is not the 7th inning we were hoping for. Jacob Melton comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch. Right in there. 87-mile-per-hour slider in the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Here's the pitch. 100 miles an hour on the inside. A little trivia here. Jacob Melton's university beat LSU. So Melton and Taylor played against each other in the championship, the College World Series. Melton's team won. Maybe some revenge right here. Fouled off 101 miles an hour. Count remains 0-2. Melton trying to not melt on these pitches. Is Taylor going to get some payback for that loss of the championship? Here's the pitch. Ground ball straight to the shortstop. Taylor has 1-2-3 inning. His major league debut. Lots of friends and family in the stadium, but if you're going to come in and have a first outing, you might as well have an outing against the Astros at home, because that's your best chance of not giving up any hits. We go into the top of the 7th. The Astros still sleeping. 7 hits this game, but only 1 run on a sacrifice fly. Nothing doing, really. Astros just stranding runners. Not too much going on for the Astros, but stranding runners is the name of the game today for them. I can't really hate on the Astros giving up 4 runs, because in my mind the Astros should be scoring 5 runs on average per game. At least 4, but 5 with the talent that they have, especially when they're playing somebody like the White Sox. Now, Shane Smith is a good pitcher, but he is kind of a rookie, right? He's a rookie. And then Taylor, the reliever who just came in and got 3 up and 3 down on the Astros, that was his debut. So the Astros are getting owned by rookies and new guys. Unacceptable. D says Astros scoring 4 runs this inning. I'm calling it 4 runs. Well, unfortunately, there were 0 runs. Sergio says the White Sox actually won 2 games out of 4 against the Tigers just a week ago. You know what they say about the sun and where it shines. Taylor looks like an albino pickle pitcher also. Taylor kind of reminds me, his pitching, of a slightly stronger Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown pitches up to right at 100 miles an hour. but he doesn't quite get there. Not yet. He hasn't gotten there quite yet. But Taylor's pitching 101. So he's got the beef. He's got the beef on his arm. Look at this. 9.1 innings pitched by Sousa. His ERA is below 1. Sean Dubin is on the mound now for the Stros. I know I've got his portrait in there somewhere. There it is. First pitch is in there for a strike on the outside edge. Good toss. 94-mile-per-hour fastball. 0-1. Here comes the next pitch. Ooh, 95, right in the top of the zone. 0-2. Batter going to call a timeout. Miguel Vargas is the victim at the plate right now. 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Look at that. 82 miles an hour on that curveball. Just dropped perfectly below the zone. That was a good pitch. Perfectly placed to look like it was going to be in the zone, and it was just a couple inches below. What a beautiful set of 3 pitches from Dubin. 3 pitches, 1 strikeout, 1 away. Edgar Guerrero comes to the plate. First pitch grounded straight to Walker, who grabs it, steps on the base, no problem. 1 pitch ground out, 2 away after 4 pitches. Good job, Doobie. Dubin. Well, I know that Doobie is Dubon. I know that. Dubin. Next guy at the plate is Kyle Teal, another young guy on the White Sox team. First pitch on the way. A little low and outside, the first ball that's been thrown by Dubin. Barely misses the corner, the lower outside corner. Ball 1, 1-0. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt, inside. Ball 2, 2-0. Come on, man. Don't go McCullers on it. You got 2 outs. You're good to go. Calm thyself. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. In the dirt again. Change the ball, man. That was a changeup. If you need to, swap the ball out. Well, they're definitely going to swap it out now that it was in the dirt. Maybe he has better control over this next ball. 3 balls and no strikes to Kyle Teal with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. Wow, that was almost a foot out of the zone. He walks him on 4 straight pitches. What exactly is going on? So Dubin has 4 pitches and gets 2 outs, a strikeout and a ground out. And now we have Louis Robert Jr. at the plate, who's having a pretty good day, 2 for 3 with the double and the homer, with a runner on first. Here comes the first pitch. He pops this one straight up and probably out of play. It is. Sails into the crowd on the first base side. 0-1. Luis Robert Jr. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Little half swing, checked it, bounces off his bat. Teal was stealing. Teal with the steal, or the attempted steal. The attempted Teal steal. He has to go back. Count is 0-2. And the bottom of the 8th, the top of the lineup, top of the batting order is due up for the Astros. Let's see if they can get something going. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Robert Jr. Ooh, strike 3 right in there. 95-mile-per-hour heater. Check swing, but it didn't matter. A good inning for Dubin despite the walk. He gets out of it with no hits, no runs. Astros relievers doing their job so far. So the top of the 8th, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. The top of the 6th, the top of the 7th, the top of the 8th, 3 innings in a row, Astros shut them down. That's 4 innings in a row, including the 5th inning, which was a partial inning for McCullers. The 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th, no runs for the White Sox. The relievers are getting the job done. But the Astros have only managed to squeak 1 run on the board. With 7 hits, they have a sacrifice fly. We go into the bottom of the 8th. 2 more opportunities for the Stros to put some runs on the board. Let's see if they can do it. Astros Houston says, Irashaimase. Nice to see you here. And Mark says, guy has a car wreck. Sorry, McCullers lost control. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was still not good. I just wish the Astros pitching coach had come out to talk to him earlier. Sergio says, I think Gusto is on the mound tomorrow. If so, we're gambling with the possibility of losing this series to the lowly White Sox. I think Gusto can have a good game tomorrow. And I believe you're right. I think he is. Let me double check. I think he is on the agenda for tomorrow. Pena will be up at the plate in just a moment. He's taking a few more warm-up swings. He's leading off the hitting here in the bottom of the 8th. Let's scroll down and take a look at the, yeah, it is Gusto tomorrow, I think. Yeah, Gusto versus Burke tomorrow. First pitch to Pena from Steven Wilson. Steven Wilson is on the mound for the Sox. Swing and a miss on that lower outside edge. 81 mile per hour Swiffer. I haven't seen a Swiffer this entire game. Next pitch on the way. Off the end of the bat into left center field. Might be trouble, and it is. It drops. Nobody can get there. Pena is in with a single. Nice. A little drop it in action by Pena, and we have ourselves a leadoff batter. A leadoff runner. A leadoff batter. I'm trying to do too many things at the same time. I'm just trying to update the pitcher's name on the screen. Yeah, he had three White Sox out there trying to get at the left fielder, the center fielder, and the shortstop, and nobody really could get to it. Isaac Paredes is at the plate, at the Pilatus. Isaac the ball Pilatus. Isaac the ball at the Pilatus. Way outside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Wilson. Mr. Wilson. Little high. Catcher tried to frame it. Bring it back in a lot. Good try, man. Good try. You got to try. You never know when the umpire isn't paying attention. 2 balls and no strike. He socked that ball. Come on. Here's the pitch. The 2-0. Ooh, nice swing on the Swiffer, but he's not able to get the bat on it. That would have been a strike either way. It was on the outside edge. 1.8 ERA for Mr. Wilson through 20 innings. That's respectable. Here's the next pitch. The 2-1 pitch to Paredes. Outside. Another Swiffer, but this time Paredes doesn't chew. People like to say he doesn't bite, but I think it sounds funny to say he doesn't chew. Doesn't chew. I don't know why. It just sounds funny. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Low, ball 4. Oh, no. They call it a strike in the bottom of the zone. A little delayed action there by the umpire. Could have been either way. Paredes is having a little bit of a discussion about it. He's like, it's okay, my bad, is what he said, my bad. He's not getting upset. He's all good. I did say it's my bad, so he's all good. Here comes the full count pitch. Nope. Wilson goes over to first. I'm still saying Smith. Pena is back, no problem, but the crowd gives the obligatory boo, boo, boo. How dare you? Full count. Wilson is set. They go over to first again. Wow. Wilson has no more opportunities to disengage and go over to first, so Pena might really be running right here. He thought he'd be going right there, but he wasn't. Now Pena can get a really good jump. Here comes the pitch. Ball 4. Pena did not run, and Paredes gets the walk. All right. So that brings up Jose Altuve, the tying run to the plate. Jose. We have no outs, guys, in the bottom of the 8th. And the White Sox are doing what the Astros haven't been doing this game. They'll actually send the pitching coach out to talk to the pitcher and the catcher. Something that I wish Josh Miller had been doing earlier, way earlier in the game with McCullers, but didn't do. Konnichiwa, konbanwa, and Ohio gozaimasu, maybe? Sergio says, I do believe that we can mount a comeback. Absolutely. We have a great opportunity now with no outs, runners on first and second. Our best batters coming up at the plate. Altuve, as you saw on the screen just now, second leading active hit leader in the MLB right now. Only behind Freddie Freeman. All right. First pitch to Altuve coming up. Here it comes from Mr. Wilson. Jose Altuve with the hit into left field. Heck yes, the ball's down. We have bases loaded. Very first pitch, Altuve just rips it into left field, and we have bases loaded. Heck yes, 9 hits now for the Astros. He doesn't wait. He goes after that first pitch and plugs it into left field. Look at this. Boom. Just goes down and gets it. Punches it out into left field. No chance for anybody to make a play on that one. Altuve continuing his streak of performing well in Daikin Park. 2 hits today. Yainer Diaz comes to the plate. He has been threatening with some big hits. Let's see if he can come through. I know he can. He hits this one to center field. That's going to be deep enough to get at least 1 run in. Oh, we're going to have 2 runners tag. Second and third both tag, and they both make it. No problem. So a sacrifice fly by Diaz. Astros get 1 run, 4-2. Deep enough to get a run and move another runner over to third. Paredes on third. Altuve on first. We have runners on the corners with 1 out. Christian Walker comes to the plate. Big opportunity here. He's got a walk and a single today. First pitch to him on the way. High, 94 miles an hour, way up out of the zone for ball 1. Good take. Astros just down by 2. 1 out. Runners on the corners. 1 ball, no strikes to Christian Walker. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off. Man, that ball on the outside edge. 83 mile per hour Swiffer. That was one that Paredes missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paredes over on third there. Altuve on first. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Wilson. In the bottom of the zone. Oh, very, very bottom part of the zone, called a strike. That barely clipped the bottom of the zone. It was close. But if it's close, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Walker is nodding at the plate. He knows that that was not a bad pitch. Come on, Stros. This is your opportunity right here. Come on, Walker. Crush that ball. Here's the pitch. The 1 and 2. Fouls it off. 95. Fastball on the outside edge. Count remains 1 and 2. Sergio says, good time for a wild pitch. Yeah, a wild pitch would be acceptable. Move Altuve to second base, score us another run. And then a single or a double by Walker to drive in another run to tie it up. Anything is good. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Outside. That Swiffer, he didn't even bite at it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Man, I can just see over there in the left side that Crawford box. The Crawford box is over there. It's just calling Walker's name. It's calling him out. Here's the pitch, the 2-2. Fouls it off. 84 Swiffer in the top of the zone. A little bit of a battle going on right now between Christian Walker and Steven Wilson. 9 hits for the Astros. Let's make it 10 with a big one here from Walker. Come on. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss on the inside. The Swiffer. It looks like he had a really good opportunity to hit that one. If he had let it go, it would have been a strike 3 anyway. He just couldn't get the bat on it. Came around too early. So Walker with a strikeout. That's out number 2. But that brings up Jake Myers. He's got a single today. And a really deep strike to right center field. Fouls the first one off. That was a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. 0-1 is the count. Jake Myers batting right now, this year, so far for the season, 302 up to this point. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Low and outside. Good take. The Swiffer missing. Big time. Into the dirt, as a Swiffer should be, right? To sweep up that dirt, to clean up the floor. 1-1. With runners on the corners, guys. Runners on the corners. Drive them in, man. Drive them in, Myers. Here's the 1-1. This is an opposite field hit. It might be down. It is. It is foul. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Altuve was off and running. As soon as that pitch started, he was off and running. That could have scored 2 runs if it had dropped in. Look how close this was. Just a few feet foul. Not playable. Altuve was laughing about it. He was like, man, that was so close. Yes, it was. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Man. Nail biter, right? Come on, Myers, you can do it. 20 pitches now for Wilson. Here comes the 21st, the 1-2 to Myers. He hits this one up the middle. Is it going to get down or is it going to be playable? Sliding catch by Louis Robert Jr. Looks like that's going to be out number 3. Wow, so close. Myers almost does it. Twice. Myers gets robbed twice. Once on a foul ball and once on a sliding catch by Jr. in center field. The Astros only come away with 1 run. Man, they are giving us scraps, aren't they? They are just giving us scraps. Get guys on base with no outs. Come away with 1. And just almost getting it. Almost. But you know what they say? Almost only matters in horseshoes and hand grenades. If you guys don't understand that expression, just think about it. If you don't understand how to play horseshoes, then you can still get points for almost getting there, right? And a grenade doesn't have to be like right on the guy to get the job done. It just has to be almost there, and it will get the job done. But when it comes to getting a base hit, driving in runs, almost is never good enough. You either get it or you don't. Almost doesn't work. We go to the top of the ninth. The Astros have 2 more runs to make up. They're down 4-2. They've got 9 hits and just 2 runs. The Sox have 4 hits and 4 runs. Talk about efficiency. That's because of so many walks, getting guys on the base. But the thing is, the Sox have actually hit the ball when they had guys on base. Not every time, but when they had good opportunities, they hit the ball. And that's why they have 4 runs on just 4 hits. The Astros have had many guys on base and 9 hits, and yet only 2 runs. Why is that? Because they're not getting the guys on. They're not driving the guys in when they have the opportunity. Caleb Ort, oddly enough, is now in for the Astros in the 9th inning. First pitch on the way to Josh Rojas. Here it comes. Grounds it straight up the middle, but that is an easy play for Pena, and makes the throw over to first. 1 away. That's the way to start it off right there. 1 pitch, 1 out. Whew. Close dancing also. Yes, that's right. Sergio says at worst this game would be tied up had we pulled LMJ earlier. Yep, I think so. Or at least talk to him, you know. Next batter is Tim Elko. Takes the first one inside for ball 1. 96-mile-per-hour fastball, missing the mark by a couple of inches. 1-0 pitch on the way. Ort puts that one a little outside. The cutter missing by a couple of inches. 2-0 is the count. 403 subs. Still sitting at 403 since I got to 403. It's been sitting there for a couple of days. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fouled back. 2 balls and 1 strike. 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Man, I'm just 2 likes away from getting to 40. I was beginning to think that I would get there, but with only 26 viewers, I'm not sure it'll happen, but it sure would be nice to have at least that to walk away with today if the Astros can't win this game. Here's the pitch. High, 97 miles an hour. 3 balls and 1 strike to Tim Elko. Do you guys remember the last game that the Astros won at home, where they were down by more than 1 run? They came back and won it. 96 miles an hour in the top of the zone, foul tip, swing and miss, and that's strike 2. Full count on Tim Elko. Court. Let's just abbreviate his name. Caleb Ort. Let's just call him Court. Court gets a new ball and rubs it up, gives it a little love. Here is the 3-2 pitch to Elko. Below the zone, ball 4. Elko takes it. Brandon Eisert is in the bullpen going for the White Sox. It looks like he will be the relief pitcher for the Sox, the Dirty Sox. Guess how many walks the Astros have given the Sox today? 7. 7. They are averaging nearly 1 walk per inning. That is called El Ridiculoso. El Redonculoso. Next batter is Mike Toshman. First pitch is on the way. That should have been a strike, low and inside, but called a ball by the ump. I guess there was just too much movement by Caratini to catch it. So 1 ball, no strikes. Runner on first with 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Toshman swings at that one, fouls it off. 97 mile per hour high fastball. The count is now even, 1-1. $39 likes. One away from 40, guys. That's great. Almost there. Whoops. There we go. Next pitch is high and outside for ball 1. I'm sorry. Ball 2. 2-1 is what I was trying to say. I was thinking 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out. Runner on first here in the top of the 9th. The crowd is very quiet right now. A lot of people seem to have left, given up on this game. That's going to be strike 2. Fouled off into the upper deck on the right side. Toshman now with the 2-2 count. 30 people following along. It looks like we're starting to get an increase in the viewership. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. It's a tough, close game. 39 likes. Just need 1 more on the live stream to get to 40. Here is the pitch. Nope. He goes over to first base. He's back. No problem. Two balls and 2 strikes to Toshman with 1 out. Here comes the toss. Kind of in the dirt there. Another full count. How many full counts have the Astros had this game? Whoops, I don't know why I clicked the weather delay. So sorry about that. I clicked the wrong button. These buttons are too close together. I hope, oh my gosh, if there's a weather delay, I'd freak out. There's no way, not with the roof closed, right? Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Grounded foul. The runner was moving from first base on that pitch, but he's going to have to trot back. Come on, Stros. Come on, Court. Caleb Ort. Three balls and 2 strikes to Mike Toshman. Here comes the pitch from Caleb Ort. Fouled off again. 96 mile per hour fastball. Count remains full. Let's take a look at the live chat right quick. Sergio says it's a little bit of a long shot, but we could still tie up this game with the bottom of the lineup coming. We could, absolutely. Robert says, come on, Astros. I don't mind extra innings. Neither do I. I'd rather see extra innings than them lie down in the 9th, you know. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again. Taylor was off and running on that pitch. He's going to have to trot back again. He's getting a nice little workout. White Sox haven't had a single hit since the 4th inning. That was a solo home run by Robert Jr. Since then, they've gotten no hits. Relievers have been solid. That pitch is in the dirt, ball 4. 2 walks by Ort. So an opening out from Ort, and then 2 back-to-back full count walks. 8 walks now for the Astros. 8 walks. And now Josh Miller comes out. Good job, Josh Miller. You don't come out to the 9th inning. What good are you? What good are you, sir? Josh Miller comes out with 1 out in the 9th inning to talk to Caleb Ort. First time I've seen him come out and talk to the pitcher this entire game when he should have been out talking to McCullers earlier this game. As me and a friend of mine used to say, useless. Useless. Oh, man. All right, meeting on the mound is adjourned. 42 likes. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Let's get to 50. Now, I don't think that's going to happen today, but that would be amazing. I haven't gotten to 50 yet this year, but 40 has been the record so far. 40 to 44, somewhere in there. First pitch is right in there. 96 mile an hour fastball. to the batter, Chase Meidroth. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 walks, and he has scored a run. He's one of the casualties of the Astros walks. Here's the pitch. Right in there, 96 miles an hour on that inside edge. 2 fastball strikes from Ort. Court got it going on so far at this at-bat. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Just a little low and outside on that cutter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Robert says you're supposed to be winning this game against the worst team in the league. That's true, especially at home. Here's a pitch, fouled off. 98 mile per hour fastball. He just got a piece of it to stay alive. And by the way, Robert, you probably heard this earlier, but I'll repeat it here. The White Sox in the American League have the worst home record of all the teams. They play the worst on the road out of everybody in the American League. So, that makes it kind of worse. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again. 96 mile per hour fastball. Goes back into the netting. What the heck are our coaches doing? I was starting to think that our pitching coach was on the injured list. That's what Sergio says. Me too. He was asleep, man, this whole game, and he finally comes out with just 2 outs remaining in the 9th. Are you kidding me? Another foul ball on the Swiffer. Runners were double stealing there, but they're going to have to go back. Just 1 out. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count remains on Meidroth. Keeps fouling everything off. Let's see if Ort can sneak one past him here. He comes off the mound. The runners will hold. And we'll have a little reset. 35 people watching now. The count is starting to go up a little bit now that we're getting close to the end of the game, I think. Hey, there we go. A steal. Did they get him? Yes, they say he did. It was a strikeout and a throwout. That's what it looks like. Out number 2 and 3. That should be out number 2 and 3. A strikeout at the plate. Yeah, check this out. A check swing strike. And a throwout by Caratini at third. How do you like that? Double play. Astros get a strikeout and a throwout at third base. Yes, that's right, baby. Defense for the win. All right. Defense FTW. Strikeout for Caleb Ort on the check swing. And then a throwout by Victor Caratini to Paredes at third base to get that runner stealing. Heck yes. What a good double play for the Astros to end that inning. The relievers continue to get it done, especially with that great defense behind them. So if nothing else, the Astros, again, keep giving their offense an opportunity. It's so sad, isn't it? Because the guys that are doing such a great job on defense, they're also the ones not getting it done on the offensive side. So it reminds me, if you have like two countries fighting each other in the battlefield, and you've got one side that has just a tremendous defense, and they work really hard to support their leader. Sometimes the leader makes a mistake and it costs them. Like you could say, like the pitcher, for example, right? Or the pitching coach or the manager is kind of like the leader. But the actual soldiers are so good at what they do on defense that they're able to limit the damage and then sometimes do some amazing things to keep the damage from getting even worse. But then those same guys, when they shift and they have an opportunity to go on the offensive, they just get annihilated. It's like they get their guys into a good position, right? i.e. runners in scoring position, but they get their guys out into the field, and it's like, yes, we have them exactly where we want them. We got them surrounded or we got them flanked, and then they just start shooting each other, you know. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Caratini's at the plate batting right-handed for the first time today, swing and a miss. He's facing a left-handed pitcher, Brandon Eisert. Let's see here. I got to change his name on the screen. Brandon Eisert. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch to Caratini. In the dirt, ball one. Good take. This is the Astros' last chance to do something here in the bottom of the ninth inning. I almost said eighth for some reason. Bottom of the ninth. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. This is up the middle. It's going to be caught by the second baseman on a bounce. Out number one. That was close. A sharp hit, but right at the second baseman. He was playing him over. One away. That brings up, crank it up, Cam Smith. 1 for 3 today. He had a single, but after that, nothing doing. First pitch. Oh, are you kidding me? A low pitch, low and outside, a couple inches outside of the zone, called strike one. It's 0-1. Umpire helping out the White Sox, the dirty White Sox. That ball's in the dirt. Surprisingly called a ball by the umpire. We need a miracle. Yeah, we do. We need a guy on base so we can get the tying run on. That's in there in the bottom of the zone. Can't be arguing with that pitch. Got to swing at that. Strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Come on, Cam. Let's see some magic, guys, at home. We're in Daikin Park. Melton is not going to be batting. It looks like Mauricio Dubon is on deck. He's going to be pinch hitting for Melton. Here's the pitch to Cam. In the dirt. He swings at a garbage pitch and strikes out. Good job, Cam. Maybe they should have put Dubon in for Cam Smith. 2 away. Astros are trying to end this game pretty quickly, I guess. Hurry up and just go home and try to hang your head in shame. Are they going to give up so quickly? No, this is Shea Whitcomb. I'm sorry. It's not Dubon that they're bringing in. Shea Whitcomb is coming in to bat for Melton. I'm okay with that. Melton hasn't been faring well at the plate for quite some time. He's basically like 3 for 25. Here comes the first pitch to Whitcomb, right in there, 92 miles an hour. Not too many at-bats for Whitcomb. He's only batting 200 right now. Small sample size. 0-1 is the count with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Little check swing, low and outside, ball one. 1-1. Come on, Shea. Shea. Here's the swing. That's out to left center field. Is it going to drop? No. It's caught by the left fielder. He's able to get it, and that's out number 3. That's it for the Astros today. Very easy 3 up and 3 down last inning. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, guys, but I will give you the scoring summary for the game. First of all, let's take a quick look. Let me share my screen with you. The Astros lose this game, but I want to show you a couple of notable things. If you look right here, this is, let me move it around so you can see it a little better. What in the world? What happened there? Why did my screen just go crazy? The one thing I hate about the windows here is all of the auto snapping that they put on the screen. I can't stand the auto snapping. I don't want auto snapping on my browsers. Is there a way to turn that off? I'll have to look that up. But anyway, let's take a look at this, okay? Stop the auto snapping. Stop it. Oh my gosh, this thing is driving me absolutely bonkers. Okay, right there. That's what I want right there. Okay, stop right there. Good. Excellent. All right, here we go. Astros pitching today. Lance McCullers pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 hits. Doesn't sound bad, right? But 4 earned runs off those 4 hits. Why? Because he had 4 walks, and the White Sox were able to capitalize and drive those runners in. His ERA, 4.91, not so good right now. But look at his pitch count. 96 pitches, guys, in 5 innings. only 51 were strikes. He was basically kind of 50-50, 50% strikes, 50% balls. He took the scenic route with almost all the batters, had lots of full count pitches, worked really hard today. He was lucky that he only gave up 4 runs. But the Astros relievers were solid. Look at this. 4 innings pitched, 2 for Sousa, no hits, no runs. 4 Ks, 1 walk. Dubin, 1 inning pitch, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks. Caleb Ward, 1 inning, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. So walks were a big problem today. 6, 7, 8. 8 walks given up by the Astros today. And the White Sox capitalized on that 3 times. Whereas the Astros couldn't capitalize on having runners multiple times. So the Astros had multiple hits. They led in the hits. If you look right here, Astros had 9 hits. Only 4 for the White Sox. But they converted. And that's what made the difference in the game. So there you go. The scoring summary. In the top of the second, Robert Jr. doubled to right, scoring Teal 1-0 Sox. Top of the third, Quero singled to left, scoring Toshman and Meidroth 3-0 White Sox. These runs came after walks, by the way. In the bottom of the third, Paredes hit a sacrifice fly to center field, scoring Cam Smith 3-1. Robert Jr. had a solo homer in the top of the fourth, 4-1 Sox. In the bottom of the eighth, Diaz sacrificed to center, scoring Pena 4-2. The Astros' 2 runs today came because of sacrifice flies. They never outright scored any runs off solid hits. It was just 2 sacrifices. They had many opportunities, but they stranded many runners on base. How many did they strand on base? I can probably tell you if we take a look at the information on the screen over here. Let's take a look. Okay, here it is right here. You see right up here it says LOB. It's left on base. Let me move that down a little bit so you can see it right up here. Left on base. Now what this shows is every batter, right up here at the top, you have Pena. How many base runners did Pena leave on base during this game? 1. Paredes left on 1. Altuve left on 1. Diaz left on 3. Walker 2. Myers 4. Caratini 1. Smith 2. Melton 1. Now, what does this tell you? This tells you that every single batter, except for Whitcomb, who came in as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning, every single batter had a runner on base at least once and got out with the runner on base. A total of 16. 16 runners. Right here, you see that? Total of 16 runners left on base by Astros today, by Astros batters. And that's the problem. If you click on the White Sox, they also left 15 on. Their number is 15. But they did manage to bring in 4 runs. Now, 3 of those came through actually driving the runners in. 1 run was from a solo home run, but 3 of their runs came because they drove runners in. And some of the way that they got the runners on base was through walks. So, because of walking and timely hitting, the White Sox beat the Astros 4-2. Disappointing game. Let's take a look at tomorrow's game and see what's going on. Gusto is supposed to pitch game 2 for the Astros. The next 2 games are going to start at the same time. I'll be here for the next 2 games, guys, tomorrow and the next day. Ryan Gusto is on the mound, and let me detach that so I can show it to you guys. As you can see here. Let's scroll down. There we go. Sean Burke is the pitching matchup against Ryan Gusto. Currently, Ryan Gusto's ERA is 4.78. Doesn't look stellar, but his performance, has been hit or miss hit or miss. There's no way to tell or to know for sure what exactly Gusto will do tomorrow, but I'm hoping that he has a better day than McCullers. I'm predicting that Gusto gives up no more than 3 runs tomorrow. I feel it. I just feel that he can do it. I feel that he can get through 5 innings and do better than McCullers did today. Burke is 3-6. His ERA is 4.03. The Astros have a much better chance of hitting him than they had hitting Smith today. He's given up 61 hits in 67 innings with 32 walks and 10 home runs. Gusto hasn't given up nearly as many home runs. Of course, innings pitched a little less, but still, his walks are much less. Strikeouts are more, though. Gusto has 45. Burke only has 50, but Burke has pitched a lot more innings. This is a significant difference right here, I think. Astros are predicted to win by about 60%, but, who knows? Hopefully they can win tomorrow and then take Game 3 and win the series. At home, it would be embarrassing to lose a series to the White Sox. But once again, that's kind of how Astros do. People often talk about the Astros playing down to their opponent or playing up to their opponent, right? It's a common thing. Hopefully they can improve on that tomorrow. We'll see. Let's see here. One more look at the live stream. Thank you guys so much for getting me over 40 likes today. I really do appreciate that. Izard is one Brandon too many on a Tuesday. That's right. This Brandon right here is the only one you guys need. We don't need another Brandon. Unless there's maybe Brandon Walter. That'd be okay, as long as he's having a good game. Mark says, want to go to eat, got to get it over. Thanks for the feed. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the L McCullers. Thank you, pitching coach. Thank you, Josh Miller, for not talking with McCullers. I wish I had Joe Spada's phone number. I bet you a lot of people do. Sergio says, thanks, Brandon, and all of my Astros fans, family. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you, Sergio. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate you very much. Thank you for following me all the way this far. For the likes, the comments, and the subs. Definitely very appreciative. I'm going to hop off of here and maybe cook myself some eggs and then get to cleaning. I've got so much cleaning to do. It's redonkulous. But that's it for today. Let's look forward to tomorrow. The only thing left to say now, as always, is Geaux Stros. All right.